This foundation is something else. This is meant to be a 24-hour foundation. How? I don't know. This is what my face looks like with a 24-hour matte foundation. Like, how? Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Hope you're doing well. So today I thought I would talk about the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation. It's been out for a minute now, at least in the UK. I think it came out in September, first week in September or something like that. I bought it within 2 weeks of it coming out, and I've just had it for a while. I tried it before I moved, and now I'm in my new home. I thought I'd film a couple videos of me using it again, because the first time I tried it, it was a bit disastrous. I will just basically, spoiler alert, this foundation was looking all sorts of wrong. But yeah, so I thought I'd try it again and try it with something else, and the result is what you see right here. So I will talk about the foundation that I mixed it with later on in the video. But yeah, when I tried this foundation on its own, I wasn't exactly too happy with it. So I'll just jump to the clip of me trying it so you can see what it looked like, and then I'll talk about it a bit further on. So this foundation comes in 45 shades. It was curated by Alyssa Ashley, and yeah, she's a YouTuber I love watching, and yeah, she's just very thorough in her reviews and her demos, and she's very, very gifted. So I do love Alyssa Ashley, and I love the fact that she got to have an input in the shade range for such a big brand like NYX. It's a really, really big step for her, so congratulations to her. And this foundation is meant to be full coverage, it's meant to be transfer proof, blendable, what else, matte, for 24 hours. Did I mention that? But yeah, so I won't talk about that too much, but anyway, I will jump to the clip of me using it the first time. So apologies in advance. I was not looking my best. I basically jumped out of bed and I was like, let me just record this quickly before I go to work. So yeah, I wasn't looking my best, but I just thought yeah, couldn't be bothered. Let's put some makeup on to at least cheer us up. So the shade I bought was Capuccino, and I'll just show you what it looks like, and then I will talk about it during the demo, and then I will jump to another clip of me trying it on before. So this clip that you're seeing is me having this foundation for a while. So I've used quite a fair bit of it, so I've kind of used it up until about here. Yeah, so it's very cool, full coverage. You don't need a lot. The only problem I have with it is the fact that it doesn't stay matte, not even for 12 hours, and it's meant to be a 24-hour foundation. But anyway, I won't talk too much. I'll jump to the clip so you can see what it looks like the first time I tried it, and then I'll jump to another clip where I talk about what I decided to do. Hope you enjoy. Bye. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I will be reviewing the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation. It looks like this, and I like the fact that this foundation comes in 45 shades. There's so many different undertones to this foundation. I do know that I think they focus more on the undertones than the actual shade range per se. So this foundation is meant to be full coverage, matte, as in matte, not just any kind of matte, but matte. So from the reviews that I have seen, it is extremely matte. It did also launch with the full stop the NYX it also launched with a Can't Stop Won't Stop primer, but apparently the primer is a bit iffy. It's a bit dodgy. Basically, it doesn't necessarily work really well with the foundation, which is odd because you would think the two products would work together to create, you know, a really good finish. But that isn't necessarily the case, and that is not the case with this foundation and that primer. It promises to have 24-hour wear, and I do think it is twice the price it should be, or at least it's a little bit more than it should be. A foundation like this, that has similar claims, is the Maybelline Supersize 24-hour foundation, and that one is $9.99. So for this to be $14.99 is a bit it's a bit iffy. I'm in a bit of a rush, so I will just film myself doing the application of the foundation, then I'll come back with my full face. But yeah, let's see how this goes. So I'm going to apply one side of my face with a brush, one side with a sponge. From what I know, it dries down really quickly, so I might just do half my face at a time just to make sure I don't get any issues. Yeah, so this foundation comes with a pump. I'm going to use my buffing brush, and I'm going to take 2 pumps, and it also dries down apparently to its true color. So I think this was one pump and it looks like this. It's a really good pump. I'll just take the one and see how it goes, because I don't tend to wear a lot of foundation. My face is moisturized and primed. Today I'm using my Primark matte primer. It's a little bit darker than my natural skin color, but that one pump has basically covered the bottom half of my face on my left side, and my blemishes are still peeking through. Yeah, this color is a lot warmer than I would prefer. As you can see, that's my skin color and that's my color right now. So I'm gonna have to go in with a light primer just to lighten it up a bit. So I'm gonna go in with 2 more pumps, because I know the sponge I'm gonna use is going to absorb a lot of product. I'm just using a regular beauty sponge. It's not so bad. Oddly enough, I feel like this is a better color match for me on this side of my face. I'm going to zoom in so you can see. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in so you can see. On the side where I've applied the foundation with my brush, you can kind of still see my blemishes. I'm not going to apply it anymore because I just don't feel the need to. It looks like skin. It looks like I haven't even applied anything to my face. I prefer the side with the sponge, oddly enough, and it feels like it's slightly lighter on this side of my face than it is on this side of my face. So yeah, I'm gonna go in with some concealer. I'm gonna use my Sleek concealer. I'm just zoom back out again. Okay, it's a bit of a gloomy day, so the lighting outside isn't the best, so I'm just using a little ring light in addition to the lighting in my kitchen, which is very warm and yellow. The colors I'm using are Hazelnut, Frappe and Creamy Cocoa. So I'm just going to finish off the rest of my face and come back. But I really like the finish of this foundation. It looks like nothing, like skin. And I didn't have any issues blending in my concealer with it once the foundation had been applied. I have seen a few videos where people have mentioned that once the foundation dried, it was hard to blend the concealer with it, so you have to work in the concealer while the foundation is wet. But I applied the foundation first and I applied the concealer afterwards, and I didn't have any issues. So I'm going to be using my 3 MUA Makeup Academy powders. I'm going to be using my L'Oreal contour powder. I have been switching up my eyebrow product, so today I'm going to be using my Tarte Amazonian Clay brow pomade in rich brown, and what else, my Sleek blush as per usual. I will be using my Sleek Copper Plate highlighter, and what else is there? I'm going to be setting my face with my Amazing Makeup Fixing Spray by Revolution. And yeah, so let's see how this goes, and I'll come back when my face is finished. Hi everyone, so I'm back and this is my finished face. In terms of the color match, I'm not sure. Now it feels a bit a little bit on the red slash, I don't even know, it looks a bit off, but it's not perfect, but I'm happy enough with it to leave my flat with this. So I'm just gonna see how this wears for the rest of the day. I should get a full 12-hour wear test from this, because like I said, I'm going to work and it's like 7:30 right now. So I finished applying this foundation at about maybe 7:10, then I had to do a few bits. But yeah, so this is the finished result. I like the fact that this foundation has basically just blended into my skin. It has a smooth matte finish. It doesn't feel dry, it doesn't feel like anything on my face. I can't actually feel it. Yeah, so it doesn't feel dry like some of the reviews I have seen. Yes, I definitely like the finish of this. So I'm just going to see how this wears, and then I will see you later on in the evening. Hi everyone, so I'm back and the time is now 7:10 at night. So I've had this foundation on for 12 hours. I've got some thoughts. This is meant to be a 24-hour foundation. How? I don't know. Like, I think it started getting oily, or at least dewy. I think was it around the 5-hour, 6-hour mark for me. Yeah, I noticed a little tiny teensy bit of dew around the corners of my nose, probably around the 4-hour mark, and then I noticed it a little bit more probably around the 6-hour mark. By the time I left work, it was significantly shiny. And yeah, this foundation is something else. I mean, it has a lot of things. You know what, stop right there. Let me compare it to the Maybelline Superstay foundation. On one hand, the NYX foundation has 45 shades. On the other hand, that foundation has, what is this? Is it 20 shades or something? Something stupid. 20 shades actually. It wishes it had 20 shades. It's got less than 20 shades. This one has 45. This one promises to have 24-hour wear. That promises to have 24-hour wear. This promises to be transfer proof. That also promises to be transfer proof. NYX promises to be, what else does it promise? To be matte. It is matte. The Maybelline Superstay is also matte. NYX is $14.99. Maybelline Superstay is $9.99. Apart from that, I definitely say, in fact, what else do I like about this foundation? So this foundation, NYX is very what? It is very blendable. It's a very blendable foundation, and it's very skin-like. Whereas the Maybelline Superstay, I felt with the brush application, it looked like foundation. With the help of the sponge, it looked more skin-like, and I'll definitely say the same with the NYX in terms of the sponge. The sponge gave me a better application, even though with the brush, it still looked fairly skin-like. So, apart from that, the Maybelline Superstay, I think, felt like it stayed on my face a lot more, and it definitely held up a lot better than this NYX foundation. My face looks slightly glowier than it does because I have a teeny tiny ring light attached to my camera because it is evening, and then in winter, and we're in autumn, we're in autumn right now, so we don't get as much daylight, so it's getting quite dark outside. I'm significantly oily on my nose and dewy on my forehead. The sides of my face are fine. Like, the perimeter of my face is normally normal anyway. It's just the center of my face that gets oily. My smile lines are cracked, and I think the foundation is breaking up on my nose a little bit. So let's see if I can maybe lighten it up a little bit more. Okay, so can you see that? This is what my face looks like with the 24-hour matte foundation. Like, how? Like, this is no different from my Maybelline Fit Me foundation, the one in the tube, not the one in the glass bottle, the one in the tube. That also goes oily, but then that actually has a good finish to it and it blurs everything. Yeah, I am disappointed that this is $14.99. What this is $14.99 for, I do not know, apart from the branding of it. Yeah, I am disappointed with the performance of this foundation. I will give it a go because I spent my hard-earned money on this foundation, so I would give it another go, but I'm not overly crazy about it simply because it's not doing what it's supposed to do. Yeah, it's not doing what it's supposed to do. I like the initial application. I love the first few hours. It didn't feel, in fact, the only thing I was worried about with this foundation is that it was going to just suck all the life out of my face, because from the reviews I've seen that it's super matte, super dry, super this, doesn't blend into foundation once set, you can't use cream products over it, like just so many things that people had issues with, and I only saw a few reviews where people actually loved the foundation. So yeah, I don't know, this isn't one of my favorites. If I know I'm going to be out for a few hours, I'll definitely wear this because this looks great, and I don't want it to look like I'm wearing too much foundation. I'll wear this. This is not an everyday foundation. Oh, and there's another thing as well. And another thing, I used my COTY Airspun powder, which keeps me matte nearly all day, like on every foundation I've got. Yeah, and I still got this, so which means this foundation's got issues. This foundation's got issues because I know my skin and I know when it gets oily, unless it's the primer. I don't know, this isn't my W7 primer, but I've tried this primer, this Primark matte primer, so many times, and it's worn almost as well, if not as well, as my W7 primer, which is, they're both silicone based primers. So yeah, I don't think it's the primer, I think it's the foundation, but I will try it again. So because I use the COTY Airspun powder, I expected it to stay matte all day because I don't have any issues. Like every foundation I have had issues with going too oily too quickly, the COTY Airspun has toned right back down, and it's actually prolonged the wear of my foundation. Like I hardly ever get oily, like I might get slightly dewy around my nose and that's about it. So yeah, I don't love it. And I'm slightly annoyed at it, and I'm annoyed more at the price than anything. If this foundation was, yes, so I have the other foundation that they have, their first foundation in the tube, the Stay Matte But Not Flat. Yeah, I think that one, the initial application of that isn't as good as this one, but as the day wears on, that one actually looks even better, like once it's mixed in with your oils and everything, and it holds up like for the whole day, whereas this one that's double the price doesn't. So apart from the transfer proofness of it, I don't know what else it has going for it that apart from the blendability and the transfer proofness, not that that's the word of it, I don't know what else it has going for it that would make me pick it over any other foundation unless I'm wearing it for a few hours. Yeah, so I don't love it. And this is the second hyped foundation. Like there were two foundations that I was so excited about, this one and the Revolution Concealer Define foundation. Both have been quite disappointing. So yeah, this is the last time I'm spending that amount of money on a drugstore foundation. I don't care how popular it is. But anywho, I'm going to part this review slash first impressions here, and my light battery is going. Very soon, by the end of this video, you won't be able to see my face. But yeah, so this is what my face looks like by the end of the day, and I ain't happy. But I'm going to wash my face off anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'm not happy. But I will see you in my next video. If you like this video, if you've tried this foundation and you haven't had any issues with it, and you have an oily T-zone, basically the same type of skin issues I have, and you have pronounced smile lines, let me know. Maybe it's the primer that I've used, I don't know, or maybe I shouldn't even use primer. I'm even thinking about that right now, because sometimes I feel like primer doesn't make as much of a difference as I'd like it to sometimes. I don't know, but I'll try this foundation on with a few other ways, and if I have time to try it on and update by the time I upload this video, if I've tried it any other way, I will leave it in the description box so you can see what happened. But yeah, so this is when I'm going to part this first impressions. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please do give it a thumbs up, please subscribe, and also hit the notification button if you want to see more videos without missing a beat. And I will see you in my next one. Have a blessed night, morning, afternoon, and bye. I'll see you next time. Okay, so this is I want to say my second or third check-in. So basically this is an impromptu check-in, just like I did with the Revolution foundation. I thought I'd do the same with the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation. So I've decided to mix it with my Max Factor Skin Harmony foundation. I also use my W7 Prime Magic primer, and I use my COTY Airspun powder with the rest of my makeup routine. So this is what my face looks like after a whole day, and it looks better than it did when I first tried this foundation on its own. I previously did say that I was actually quite disappointed with it, especially with all the hype. But yeah, so this is what it looks like today, and you can see it's slightly dewy on my T-zone. It's gone into my smile lines a little bit. It's worse on this side than it is on that side for some reason, but yeah, I'm not looking too bad by the end of the day. And this is what I expect my face to look like by the end of the day, roughly. So yeah, again, this looks way better than it did. So I'll try again on its own just to make sure that it's not a foundation. But it's worn off on the tip of my nose. I have been blowing my nose a bit. But the rest of my face is perfectly matte, except for the center of my face, which is slightly dewy. The time is 7:04, and I put this foundation on at 7 as per usual. So it's been 12 hours. So tomorrow I'm going to try it again. I think I will try it again on its own with these same products, so with the W7 primer and with my COTY Airspun powder, and hopefully we'll see how it wears. But yeah, so until then, I will check in again tomorrow. Bye. Hi everyone, so this is my, is this my final check-in? This is my final check-in testing the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation. And today I wore it on its own, and I wore it with my W7 Prime Magic Primer. Yesterday I wore it with my, mixed with my Max Factor Skin Harmony, Healthy Skin Harmony Miracle Foundation in 2095. So yeah, today I've worn it on its own. And I've kept the majority of the products I normally use every day anyway. The only thing I've used that's different is what's on my lips, and that is my NYX liquid lingerie in Beauty Mark and Push Up. But yes, and I've put my NYX, I've put my lip gloss in Exposed from the Nudes collection on top. But yeah, so this is what the foundation looks like, and yeah, so it looks a lot better than it did the first time. I think it, well, I know it was definitely the primer that failed me, but I didn't think the primer would make such a big difference, given that this foundation is meant to be a 24-hour foundation. Like, I need to say 24-hour foundation so many times, because without this primer, it won't last as long as it has, and it wouldn't look this good. You can see there's a crack on the side of my mouth, and the crack on this side isn't as pronounced. Slightly dewy on my nose, but yeah, this is the kind of finish I expect by the end of the day, minus the crack, but sometimes I get a crack on my smile lines anyway. And yeah, so, oh, and highlight is different today. I broke out my Profusion highlight palette that I've been using for so long, that I haven't used in a long time because I've had so many other highlighters I've been trying, and I actually just really like it. It's a beat up old highlighter palette, and I love it. It's not too blinding, it's great for everyday wear, and it just gives a really good subtle glow. Yeah, I like the result. I will definitely use this foundation again. I think in terms of how long it lasts on its own, it might be just slightly better than the Revolution Conceal and Define foundation. It's also definitely a better color match anyway on its own, and the only thing is that it creases. That one also creases, but I feel like that one doesn't crease as quickly, slightly. But yeah, it's a very close race between the two, but at least that one doesn't promise to have 24-hour wear kind of thing, and yeah, it doesn't promise to stay matte for 24 hours. That one is just promising to be blendable, to having a really good finish, that kind of thing. So I prefer a foundation like that doesn't over promise and under deliver. But anywho, I still will wear this foundation again. I wouldn't buy it again, because for $14.99, the only time, actually I would buy it. It looks great for the first few hours, and it looks great at the end of the day. As you can see, it's great for pictures, very, very good. But for the price, I'd rather just buy the Revolution foundation. Yeah, so that's about it. So I wouldn't buy it again if it was at $14.99. I would buy it at half price. So maybe for Christmas, if it goes on sale at 50% off, I will buy it again, but I won't buy it again for full price. Yeah, so I'm just going to wrap up this wear test, impromptu wear test, and this is it. Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. So today I thought I would use the NYX foundation again, mix it with my Max Factor Healthy Skin Harmony foundation in the shade Tawny, and just show you what it looks like. Today I actually didn't use any primer, so I have used it with my Primark matte primer. I've used it with my W7 Prime Magic, my OG primer. I've also used it with my Barry M Glowmance Self Focus Revitalizing Cream, which is meant to be a kind of like a primer slash glowy type of cream. And it also blurs pores. It looks like this. So this is what I've used it with, and this actually hasn't made my skin oily as well. So this has been a really, really good primer. Just to, if you have like really dry skin and you want to have that glowy effect, this is a perfect primer. It's really good on its own as well. It has like a yellowy base to it as well. So if you don't want to have like a yellow tone undertone to your skin, this might not be good for you, but it has a yellowy goldy base to it, which is really, really nice. So I've used this and it looks nice. I've used it when I've used it last week and it was fine. So today I've actually only used the NYX foundation on its own. I did say that I was going to maybe try and use it on its own. I actually wasn't going to do that and I was just going to edit the video and put it up. But today I thought, let me just put a pause on that. Let me try it on its own because I was in a rush anyway. I actually forgot primer. So this is by accident. So it looks really good, really good. I've had this foundation on since, was it 10:30? Yeah, so 10:30 and the time is now 2:35. So I've had it on for 4 hours and you wouldn't even know because it looks exactly the way it did this morning. I used my COTY Airspun powder. So I've used it with my COTY Airspun powder today, and yes, I feel like that's definitely also helping, but we'll see how it wears for the rest of the day. I should be able to wear this up until like 7, 8 at night, and then I'll take my face off. We'll take my makeup off. So yeah, we'll see how it goes, but this is what it looks like after 4 hours. I actually really do like this foundation. I can't believe I actually was so disappointed with it before, but now that I've found the perfect things to use with it, yeah, I'm really liking how it looks. It looks like I'm having a really good day with my skin when I am actually wearing foundation. I haven't set it too much. I've used a bit of yellow but like banana powder on my like highlighted areas, and I've used my Revolution concealer, and today I used the concealer under the foundation. But as per usual, it's creased a little bit, but it's not looking too bad at all. It's good for everyday wear. This is what I expect. If I have time, I'm going to film myself applying this foundation the way I have been doing it for the past couple of days, past couple of weeks, using my W7 Prime Magic. Yeah, and I'll show you what it looks like. Otherwise, I have kind of showed you what the foundation looks like anyway, and I've talked about the things that I mix it with now that I do wear it every day. Yeah, if I do have time, I will actually show you a demo of my mixing it and show you what it looks like. But it's been 4 hours, like I said, and yeah, I'll show you what it looks like at the end of the day. Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. So this is just a quick update to let you know how I've gotten on with this foundation. So the time is now 7:30 and I've had this foundation on for 9 hours. I put it on at 10:30. I told you about the fact that I haven't actually worn any primer with this foundation today, just to see how it's performed, and I'm very surprised that it's only slightly dewy. Even in fact, it looks dewy on camera. In the mirror in real life, it doesn't even look dewy at all. So I think there's just a little bit of like dewiness on my nose, and this is fantastic for 9 hours of wear. Granted, it's winter, right? Well, not winter, it's autumn right now, so it's not exactly hot and I'm not getting hot and sweaty. But yeah, I'm just really surprised. I did use my COTY Airspun powder, which does help keep me matte for the majority of the day. So it could be that as well, so just bearing that in mind. Yeah, so I haven't actually used primer with this foundation, and I didn't set the perimeter of my face. I think I used the COTY Airspun on like the center of my face where I put concealer, because today was just basically a minimal makeup day. And yeah, it's been on for 9 hours, so I'm actually really surprised at how it's worn, and it's great. I don't think I need primer with this foundation. I didn't need primer in the first place, so I'm very impressed with this foundation. The more I wear it, the more I like it, and it's very skin-like. I can't stress that enough. It is the most skin-like matte foundation you'll probably buy from the drugstore, or probably period. Yeah, so it's a really good skin-like foundation. I really like how it looks, and I'm really enjoying this foundation. I never thought I'd say this, given how it looked the first time. Yeah, so the only thing is it's come off on my nose a little bit here, but I have been rubbing on my nose just a bit, and it's kind of slightly sunk into my smile lines a little bit, which you can kind of see, but it's not a lot at all, and it's been on for 9 hours, although it does promise 24-hour wear. I think tomorrow I will wear it on its own, without any without mixing it, and that will be my final check-in, and then I'll edit this video and put it up. Hopefully, I've been sitting on this foundation vlog thing has been going on for so many weeks now, because I started it before I moved. I'm in my new home, and I've settled down. So yeah, I'm just gonna do one more entry, and that hopefully should be it. I will see you in my next clip. Hi everyone. So today I decided to use the NYX Constant All Stop foundation on its own without primer and with the rest of my normal makeup routine, and this is what my face looks like. So as you can see, everything's blended in with the oils on my face, which makes it look even more skin-like. but it just looks like I've got dewy skin kind of thing. So like my T-zone under my nose, the corners are slightly dewy, but to be honest, this isn't anything I will be too worried about. I'll just put like a light layer of powder and I'll be fine. Everywhere else is intact and still matte. As usual, slightly creased in my smile lines, and my forehead is just slightly dewy, and you can see where I've tapped in my forehead. But yeah, yeah, so I just thought I wanted to know what this foundation would be like wearing it all day. It lasted a good few hours. They say, I don't know, 5 hours before I noticed like the slightest bit of dew on the corners of my nose, and maybe towards the end of the day before I thought, actually this looks quite dewy. It hasn't really changed much all day, to be honest, apart from the dewiness. Everything still looks like it's in place. So I'm really happy with this foundation for the fact that I can actually skip one step. I feel like if I baked my nose, sounds so weird, if I put extra powder on my nose and just let it set, I probably won't even get this oily at all. Today I used my COTY Airspun powder with the rest of my other powders like I normally do. So yeah, COTY Airspun saved the day again. I think maybe without it I will probably look a lot oilier. But yeah, so I use my normal makeup routine without primer, and this is what I look like. So I think the next thing I'll do is try it out on its own maybe, or I will basically what I want to do is either show you me using it on its own in better lighting, because the first time I used it I wasn't really happy. It was a very dull day, and you know, everything just looked, and I wasn't really looking my best anyway. So maybe what I'll do is show you what it looks like when I apply it on its own, do my whole face again, or show you what I would do with the Max Factor Skin Harmony foundation, which is what I love mixing it with. I don't need to mix it, as you can see. I just need to I'll just need to remember to use a lighter concealer because the foundation is slightly warm. So with this I don't actually need to bronze, because once I highlight the center of my face, I've got the perimeter of my face that just looks dark on its own anyway. So I just kind of contour a little bit, and yeah, so I'm good to go. So I like the fact that with this foundation I can skip a few steps. So yeah, that's basically what I'm trying to say. So yeah, I'll decide on what I want to show you in the next clip, and hopefully that should be the final clip, and then I can put this video up finally. But yeah, until then I will see you later. Bye. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Hope you're doing well. I'm going to show you how I apply the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation, and this is my preferred method. So sometimes I use primer, sometimes I don't. Since I've tested this foundation and actually realized I don't actually need my my best primer, I don't need that with it. It's nice to have sometimes. It does make a tad bit of a difference, but to be honest, by the end of the day it still looks good. So I've decided most of the time I probably won't even use primer with this unless I'm looking for that extra, you know, extra bit of lasting power. So today I'm not really doing much, so I don't need the foundation to last me all day. So I'm just going to go straight in with the foundation. I'm going to use a slanted top kabuki brush type of thing. And the only thing I found with this foundation is that the tip, the bit where the foundation comes off, does get clogged up. It has stained like my bed sheets. Yeah, so my dressing table is next to the end of my bed, and this is squirted out one day and it basically stained, as in permanently stained, my bed sheets. So what you need to do is make sure you do clean it every now and then, because even as I can see now, it's quite dry. So what you find is that once it's clogged, it will squirt out, and it will just like, you know, squirt out in the worst way. So just be careful with this foundation because it basically sets like a liquid lipstick. That's one thing you need to bear in mind with this foundation. So I'm just gonna, so yeah, so the tip is cleaned. I'm just gonna squirt 2 pumps. See, it's done it again. You need to be careful with this foundation. So I'm gonna squirt 2 pumps and then put it on the perimeter of my face because this foundation is a bit warmer than I would like. It actually looks like it blends in with the perimeter of my face, which is darker. But if I was to apply just this foundation on its own, it would look just a tad bit too dark for me. So I like to go into the center with something a bit lighter. It hasn't completely covered my blemishes, but I'm just going to go in a little bit more. So next I'm going to mix in my Max Factor Healthy Skin Foundation in the shade Tawny. I've got 1 pump of that, and then I'm going to mix in the same foundation in the shade Toffee. These two foundations are what I normally use anyway. And then I'll go in with like almost the full squirt of the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation. Usually I only mix it with the shade Tawny, which is quite a yellow shade, but today I just thought I'd mix it with a bit of Toffee as well, just to give me a little bit of a brighter complexion on the center of my face. So I do switch up my concealers, but today I'm going to go with my Maybelline concealer in the shade Caramel. And I'm going to blend that in with this Brushworks sponge. So this is what my face looks like. I'm going to finish it up. I'm going to zoom in so you can see what the foundation looks like. So if you want to have like a really simple foundation day, just lightly set this with a bit of powder. And in fact, you don't even need to set this. If you don't apply concealer and you just have the foundation, you're just good to go. But I'm going to set the concealer and then just finish up the rest of my my makeup, and then I'll come back. But this is what it looks like, and it's just very skin-like. You don't even know where the foundation ends and where my skin begins. So this, I have to say, may well be my most blendable foundation. Like, if I had perfect skin, this is what it would look like. Like in real life, it looks even better. I'm gonna finish up the rest of my face, and then I'll come back and show you what my finished face looks like. Hi everyone, so I'm back and my face is finished. So after applying the foundation and the concealer, I just went in with my normal powder. So I've got the MUA Pro Base Prime and Conceal Correcting Powder. It's the yellow powder. Use that for my under eyes. And then I went in with the MUA Ultra Fine Loose Setting Powder in Banana Boat for the wider area, like where I've highlighted. And then I lightly just went in with the Neutralizing Apricot Powder by MUA again, just on the, what do you call it, on the kind of cheek area. And then all over my face, I just used my COTY Airspun powder, just lightly all over my face, because you don't really need to set this foundation. Like I said, I just did it for like the airbrushed effect that you can get with this foundation, with this powder. And plus I like this powder anyway, I always use it. So apart from that, what else did I use? So on my brows, I use my Tarte Rich Brown Amazonian Clay waterproof brow pomade thingy, and then that's brows. And then lower lash, so lower lash, I use my Essence Lash Princess mascara, which was a bit messy the first time I used it, so I only used it on my lower lash line, because it does add quite a bit of volume, and I just didn't want it to clump my top lashes, so I only used it on my lower lash line. And on my top lash, on my upper lash line, on my upper lashes, I use my Pure Fully Charged mascara, and it looks like this. I got it in one of my subscription beauty boxes. I can't remember which one, probably a Look Fantastic one, I think. Don't quote me on that. So it's a mini mascara, and it has a really nice big full-size bristle. It does separate and add volume, so I do like that. I use my normal Profusion Very Beat Up concealing palette, my contour palette rather, and then the old highlighter that I haven't used in a while is the same, from the same brand. This is my Profusion highlighting palette. It looks like this. So it has these beautiful highlighting colors. And then what else did I do? I used my I Heart Makeup highlighting Peach and Glow highlighting palette. It's like a highlighting slash blush palette if you're into like shimmery blushes. I just use that a little bit on top, and I use that in my inner corners as well. Will this thing focus? So in summary, the only thing I don't like about this foundation is the price. For drugstore foundation, I still think it's too overpriced for what it is. It is the drugstore foundation in the end. It doesn't need to be $14.99. I will wait to see if it goes on sale. If it does, I will buy another one. I did say I wasn't gonna buy it unless I wasn't gonna buy it at full price, and I'm still sticking to that. So apart from the price, you get the same amount that you would in any other foundation. It stays matte, and looks like skin. I think there's nothing else. Yeah, this is a really good foundation. I would recommend if you've got oily skin or normal skin. If you've got dry skin, you at least want to try out and see, but you definitely would need a hydrating primer for sure, or at least a good moisturizer. If you do love this foundation vlog series and you want to see more, let me know and I will do more. I'm actually very tempted to do more anyway. So whether or not you want to see it, you probably will see another foundation vlog. But yeah, so I will see you in my next video. Please don't forget to subscribe and help me get to at least 1,000 subscribers. That would be magical. And also comment down below. It would be good to hear from you if you've tried this foundation, and let me know how it's worn on your face. Yeah. And comment, subscribe, and hit the notification button so you don't miss my next foundation vlog or whatever. But I will see you in my next video. Stay blessed and bye.